This lesson will show you how to connect the administration tool, which is a Windows-based application, to the Oracle database in the VirtualBox, which is hosted on the Linux virtual machine. In order to do so, you will have to perform the following steps. You will have to start all the services in the VirtualBox, that is, to start the database, start the WebLogic server, administrative server, and start the WebLogic managed servers. Then you have to start Oracle Business Intelligence and the Space in the Oracle environment. Then you will have to start the administration tool and create a new RPD if you do not have one already created. And then the next step is just to follow along what this video demonstrates, and you'll be able to connect the administration tool on the Windows environment to the database in the Linux environment. Let's get started. To create an RPD, which is the same, go to your Windows desktop, double click on the administration icon, give it a few moments, the window will open. Once the window opens, go to File, New Repository, just type Paint. This is the same RPD which you created in the Windows environment. But if you already have it created in the Windows environment, all you have to do is use the same RPD that you created for the Windows environment practice in this lesson. So I'll give it the same password like I did. That is admin123. And then we'll click on Next. And then what I want to do at this point is just say, just want to leave it as is. And then we just click Cancel. Once we've clicked Cancel, we'll have three different layers which are all blank. Now to create a connection pool and a database object, you have to just go to the physical layer, right click on it, then choose New Database. Then you can just say ORCL, that's our database. And then you can also create a connection pool at the same time. And for the connection pool, we'll just leave it as CP. And we'll call this connection pool the virtual machine, or just call it Oracle Virtual Machine. And then for the data source, what we want to do for the data source is to leave it as is for now, and just here type Paint and the password for Paint, which is admin123. Then I've created a script which I will show you here, and I'll also upload to Udemy, which you can download. And this has a connect script that we'll use to connect the administration tool to the database in the Windows environment, which shows you this is the entire connect script. So you will copy this entire connect script. I will add this connect script to the platform in Udemy, and then you paste it on the data source. Once that is done, you just say OK. You ask you for the password again, just type it in and say OK, and then OK. That's how you create the database object as well as the connection pool. But this has not automatically connected us to the database in the Linux environment. We'll have to perform an additional step for us to be able to tell that this takes care of it. Next, I want to show you what the instant client looks like, because I use the same connect script that is provided here, double clicking to open it, which is provided here, and place it in the instant client. So I will go back. You can see this, the path is C drive instant client underscore 12, and then open the TNS names file. Recall there was an original TNS names file which had multiple entries. I'll open it so you can see what it looked like. This was the original TNS names file. This is used to connect to the database if you are working within the Windows environment only, because the port number that you use is fairly straightforward and the host name is fairly straightforward. But because we're going to go into a different environment, we will modify the TNS names file so that it looks as follows. So this is now what is also used in the data source name in the administration tool, if you recall. This is exactly the same thing. I just placed it as a TNS names file in this format into the instant client. Without this, your connection to the VirtualBox would fail. So we'll go ahead and close this, then go down one more, then we'll double click on this, then the core interface should be changed to OBIEE 3.5. This is what you want. There's an additional option here which is a default, but you want to change it to OBIEE 3.5. And the description remains the same. Then you click OK. Then you go back to the connection pool, right click on it, and then select import. The connection has failed, which is fine because it does not recognize the data name. So what we want to do is we want to click OK, then choose the instant client. Recall that there is a new TNS names file there. Once you choose the instant client, it will automatically switch the name down for you here. You say paint, and we want to connect now to the database which is in the Linux environments. So once you change this to paint, which is what is in the connection pool, and you notice that the connection type is OBIEE 3.5. Then you just click next. So there it is. Once it gets to this point without giving you an error, just know that you've connected successfully to that environment. Again, we'll scroll down and locate paint. And these are the 4 tables that we imported into the database in the Linux environment. So we'll go ahead and bring over one of the tables just as an example to the repository view, and then we'll click finish.